This episode is brought to you by Encore Mortgage. Make sure to reach out to lender Lena at 562-818-5337 is her phone number. She's been in business over 40-something years. She's amazing. She happens to be our mom. She will take care of you. Welcome to the Paul and Tiffany Real Estate Podcast.
No.
Wrong? Come on. Carrie told me not to use that voice.
Yes, not the voice.
Let's keep rolling with it. Let's keep rolling.
Welcome to the... Go. Do it again.
Really?
Come on.
Tiff.
First time ever, Paul and Tiffany podcast.
Then you start it up.
Let's go.
There we go. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
All right, so we're here. We're going to talk. We're going to chit-chat about real estate.
We're sitting here. It's our first official podcast. This thing is legit. Look at this setup.
I mean, I feel very special. I always wanted to be a newscaster.
You did. One of my past clients told me that my voice, he said, did you know you have a very good radio voice? I'm like, really?
You do have a good radio voice.
We'll see, I guess.
I have a good voiceover voice. Little minion. Just kidding. All right, so let's just dig on in.
What are we digging on in? Well, we were just talking before we started this, right?
Okay.
That it's interesting. I'm staring at you. You're staring at me. When's the last time we actually had a conversation looking at each other?
Never.
And when's the last time humans actually, this day and age, slow down, stop?
I mean, I do remember doing this when we had a staring contest. We couldn't blink. Maybe when we were like 12 and 9. But
like, look, we have no technology. We're sitting here. We're eye to eye. We're having an actual conversation. Our phones are off. So regardless of the podcast right now, this is actually a healthy experience for our relationship. Sister.
Kumbaya. All right. So we're really going to just talk about real estate, all the good stuff, our relationships, our family.
Yeah.
All the things.
Yeah.
So you guys want to listen to us. Jibble jabble.
So what's up?
All right. So what are we going to talk about today?
You tell me.
Real estate.
Yeah. I think we should talk about moving up.
Okay.
That's a kind of a foundational pillar of our philosophy in real estate is getting people to understand the concept of moving up.
Mm-hmm.
I think we get deep, dive deep into that conversation for sure.
Move up or get stuck.
There you go. Move up or get stuck.
Yep.
But before we do that, why don't we kind of just catch up on how you doing?
Life.
Life.
Well, before this, I was with my daughter for a Girl Scouts thing and, woke up early and I think they have been just taking over my life lately, the kiddos.
Yeah. How's business in general? Like, how are you doing? How you feeling?
It goes through its waves.
Yeah.
I feel like this year I'm going to revamp everything. Well, I've been revamping everything, passing out the cookies to the fire stations, police departments, door knocking. I got my menu flyers that talks about me and us and what we do. It's
funny. Every time you do that, after you do that activity, like you go, hey, I went to this fire department. You are so fired up.
I know.
Of all the things, in our business, lead generation's hard. I mean, we're good practitioners. The hardest thing in our business is going out and getting new clients.
So hard.
It's just beyond the referrals we get, obviously, and things we do, open houses and things, but beyond those basic things that bring most of our business in, doing other actions every single day to generate new business is the hardest thing. But my point is, I know we've always kind of struggled with finding that one thing we get so excited about that we'll do every day. But every time you do something where you're out in the public, out in the community, you're like,
definitely have to be face to face, just meeting new people and making them smile and seeing if I can help in any way.
Yeah.
For sure. Definitely not cold calling.
Yeah. And I love cold calling.
Yeah.
Specifically though to people that like investors, people that have units, perhaps. I love that conversation.
Intentional, yeah.
Yeah, because there's value you could bring by having a conversation versus like, hey, who are you looking to buy or sell a house? Like, I have no value to bring you other than help me. It's like, no, I don't want to bother somebody, call them. But if I have something of value to bring, like, hey, have you thought about increasing upside with your current portfolio by doing X, Y, Z? Have you considered trading up? We're getting off topic here. That's another thing. There's so many things to talk about on this podcast, by the way.
Paul's just going to rant the whole time and then I'm going to spit my fire.
All right. So what else is going on in business, in life, business?
What's going on with you? I mean, mine, I'm just like a working mom.
I feel really good this year. I feel like we've been grinding since we launched our Paul and Tiffany brand in 2016. Initially we kind of launched Uptown Whittier. And now we're on east side of town, East Whittier. But my point is, since that day, I feel like we've really charged pretty hard
and
grown tremendously. And now I feel like we're at an exciting place.
I mean, we're kind of a big deal in Whittier.
Come on.
When I'm at Target, they're like, "Are you Tiffany?"
It's
Like,
all the open house
that's
signs,
me.
right? It's funny when the kids are the ones that say, "Oh, it's full of Tiffany," right? From the signs and things around the community.
No, it's pretty much adults.
Oh, yeah. Different demographic. You're hitting different demographic. I'm hitting the kids. Maybe because I'm running with June's Warrior kids and all the parents are seeing that around town, perhaps. But anyways. So what's going on with me is I just feel that we're kind of entering a new chapter, a good chapter, I think kind of next level. And I think thus, this is why we're here in the podcast.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to bring value, do something that's interesting, share topics, ideas, thoughts, inspiration that we have in our life. And I think I'm so excited about this podcast because it hits so many boxes. Like one, and the surprise to me today was like, we actually have a conversation on an ongoing basis on topics that we care about, right?
Yeah.
But also just to hopefully inspire somebody to make moves in their life that not just on the business side, but I'm super passionate about. I geek out on personal development and always trying to get a little better every single day in every category of life. And I have my little check boxes, I have my categories, and I obsess over that. So I hope to share little things that I've used over the past year, decade or so, couple decades, and hopefully inspire somebody. That's kind of my goal here.
Inspiring.
And, obviously talk about real estate and tips and tricks and tools and things that we can share that could help people make moves and improve their lives through real estate.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited right now.
I think through real estate, talking about real estate and just being like genuine and it's hard. Life is hard. The balance, the real estate, being a parent, being a husband, being a wife, like all the things. It's cool to talk about.
Yeah. For sure.
And
your therapy
put
session.
It together. This is my therapy session, people.
We need a couch here, actually. We need the couch. We need to bring back the couch.
I have my green juice, not coffee, but green juice. So.
All right. Why don't we jump right into our topic today, which is moving on up.
Moving on up.
I love the concept of moving up, and it doesn't necessarily mean, moving up to a bigger house just for the purpose of having a bigger house.
Yeah.
It's moving up strategically to improve your situation.
Yep.
And that can mean a bunch of different things, but I always like to talk about your story, Tiff, because it is the ideal kind of story to share.
It's about time for me to move up now.
I know. We'll get there. Let's start to so let's talk about your first home. Walk me through that experience.
Okay, so my first house, got engaged. My husband I think he had like $17,000 in his bank account. I'm like, all right, well, let's buy you a house because we're going to get married and you're not going to not have a house. So I found the cute little house, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. We got it for, I believe, $299. Crazy.
Dang. I remember that.
Super cute. Best investment. We were there for 2 years. Palm Park area. Yeah. Oh my God.
Fixer.
Love the house. Moderate fixer. We painted. We did everything ourselves. We even went to King Richard's in Uptown Whittier and we would buy, all the antique stuff, refurbish it. And it was super cute. Anyways, 2 years there. We were able to, we had a bunch of equity.
Yeah.
I think about, I don't know the number, maybe like 60,000.
Yeah.
So we got 60,000.
A bunch back then, now not so much.
I mean, a bunch back then, yes. It was a lot. And then we put all of that money down into a better property, better neighborhood in Michigan Park.
Moderate fixer
Fixer. This was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, bigger, better area, huge lot. And this is when I was pregnant with my second daughter. And we lived there for 2 years. We remodeled the bathrooms, kitchen, refinished the floors, painted, did all the things, but probably only spent about $60,000 renovating, which wasn't too much. And we used all that money from the equity. We never used our money from our account.
Do you remember how much Jason put down originally when the first home he purchased in Palm Park? Was it like FHA?
It was FHA, yeah.
So 3.5% down, 300. So it was like, 10, 15 grand down.
Yeah.
Okay. So you turned that 10, 15 grand. He took all the equity from Palm Park to
Michigan Park.
Before you jump to the next jump, tell me about this. Like, what was the experience coming from Palm Park to living in the new home in Michigan Park? Like, what was that like for the family? What was that like? What did that do? If you reflect back, what did that move do for you?
I think because we had just gotten married, I was pregnant, we had a honeymoon baby. So I'm like, oh my God, we need more space. We need a bigger yard. We need a better school district. So, and obviously our family's in real estate. And I knew like Grandpa always said, you need a jump.
Yeah,
so
don't get attached to your home.
Don't get attached. So we literally I think sold it furnished or like a couple of things left. So it did a lot. We got a better school district, bigger yard, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It was a really awesome and a great neighborhood. Both were great neighborhoods, but this was, you can tell it was a jump up, maybe 2 jumps up.
A huge backyard. Too.
So then we lived there for 2 years, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got the itch again, and this house actually came on the market, not even on the market. Investors purchased it, and it was the street we grew up in.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh my God, I need to get this house. And I hadn't even seen the inside. I just knew I had to get in. I needed to get connected to the investors. So I did.
Who did?
Well, did you?
I did.
Okay, well, you did. Oh, you did. You're right.
That's right.
Thanks, Paul. So we offered the investors like $100K over what they purchased it for.
Right.
And they hadn't done anything to the property. It was literally like there was no kitchen. It needed a whole gut job. And everyone said, do not buy that house. That's a money pit. Oh my God, I can't believe you're going to buy that. And I said, I had a vision. That is going to be like gold, right? Yeah. So even my husband, it was rocky, but I'm like, you need to listen to me. And he trusted me, and I was right.
You were right.
So we bought that property with all of our equity. We had, let's see, I think like 200 in equity at this point.
So you turned the 10 grand investment originally to 200 grand at that point.
There we go. 200, yeah, with equity, which, yes, build up.
Okay.
You got to move up. Yeah. Okay. So then, this is so exciting. I love talking about
Most people like talking about themselves, by the way. That's a little tricky. You want to get to know somebody, just asking a lot of questions about themselves. Because people never talk about it. People never get the opportunity to really, have someone ask about their lives and stuff, because everyone's interesting to themselves. And anyways.
All right. So then what else? So bought the house, renovated it, put about $100,000 in renovations, again, with the money that we brought in with us. So now...
So no money out of your pocket.
No money ever
Use all
out of my
equity.
pocket.
Use the equity to do the improvements.
Use the equity to do the
improvements. Love it. I didn't know that, actually.
Mm-hmm. We've never used our own money.
Sweet.
So now, this is the caveat, okay? I've been there for almost 9 years, and I am ready to bounce, but there's things going wrong, so I need to fix that. We've never been at a property long enough where we had to fix things.
Oh, you mean it's been now it's time to paint.
Time to paint. Time to, there's I don't know, I think I saw some black mold in the bathroom corner, and I'm about to freak out. So there, all the things.
Well, I will say though, you have literally one of the best streets in all of Whittier. I mean, during COVID, it was literally like living in the 90s, kids riding their bikes, skateboarding, playing soccer. And it was just the best Eastridge. I mean, that's the street.
So now I'm sitting on how much equity?
Boatload. A lot of equity.
Yeah.
So basically you turn your 10 grand.
About $800,000 in equity, guys.
Into a boatload of equity for moving up.
You gotta move up.
On equity, moving up, like I said, isn't about, I think wealth creation and building equity, obviously, I think wealth gives you options, right? I mean, you're not even 40 yet. And
I'll be 39 in 13 days.
You've made some moves intelligently over the past, 15 years, 14 years?
Yeah, 12.
12 years. 12 years that have set you up. If you were to do nothing else, which I know you are, but if you do nothing else, you now have a lot of options as you get older, things happen. That equity gives you options.
Exactly. It's like our bank account.
It is. It's forced retirement. It's all sorts of things. But that is my bigger driver, to be honest. When I want to motivate somebody to consider moving up, it's honestly to help them have a fatter nest egg when they get older. For the future.
Sure.
And not just for them, who knows? Maybe there's relatives. Maybe someone needs help. Maybe they have a grandparent that needs housing. And because you have a boatload of equity and you've bought some investment properties and you've traded your equity up over the years, you now have the luxury of helping somebody.
To help, yeah.
So it's not necessarily always about you and driving a fancy car and having a big house. But if you could intelligently move, so let's go back to our strategy now to judge your story. This is the perfect strategy. Buy a moderate fixer. It's very rare we recommend to somebody to buy a turnkey home. Now, if that turnkey home is a unique property, it's got a big lot, it's a very unique location, the rarity of it is such that it has value in itself because of the rarity. In that case, sometimes you consider it. Right? But in most cases, I'd say 80 to 90% of the time, buying the moderate fixer with upside is the best possible strategy one can do.
Yeah.
And especially when you're thinking long-term about, hey, this isn't my first and only house. This is going to be a stepping stone to the next opportunity. It's even more important to pick that moderate fixer, great neighborhood that has some built-in equity, and trade that equity up. So
I love this too, because a lot of people, they're raised in their home like their entire life. So their mentality and mindset is like, oh, I'm going to buy my house. I'm going to live there and pay it off. And that's going to be my house. Well, they don't know any better because they weren't around. Expectation. So us talking to our clients about moving up and like what it can do for them. Some clients are like mind blown, like, oh my God.
I know. We plant the seed. That's what inspires me about our business. Like we can plant one seed, one conversation. I remember when we had real estate agents working for us and they'd say, oh, what do I say to people? I said, look, the one question you could ask, the most powerful question a realtor could ask a human being on planet Earth is, have you considered investing in real estate? Or that could be buying your first home, buying your second property, investing in general.
Yeah.
Because imagine that one question plants one seed. Well, what do you mean? Then that one seed is planted, and all of a sudden that could potentially change their life and generations to come for the next gazillion years because of one question that we ask. So that's almost like a duty we have, actually.
We don't get enough credit.
Right? Well, it depends on, I guess.
Just kidding. No, we do.
But back on topic. What are we talking about?
Moving up. So yeah, I think it's
moving on up.
I think moving up is my favorite kind of client too.
Yeah, move up.
All our clients, but move up buyers. For some home buyers are exciting.
I will say too, sometimes, look, I mean, this is something we sell. In other words, like we want people to consider moving up and have an active plan with real estate, specifically moving up, trading up, moving that equity up into. Now, the other thing you mentioned earlier, that what the moving up does, like, there's other things to moving up. You get the extra bedroom, you get the extra bathroom, you get the better neighborhood, better school district. And usually when you improve a neighborhood, when you go from Palm Park, let's say to Michigan Park, the equity growth will be greater in that better neighborhood.
Exactly.
So, if you're like, for example, if you had not moved, I always say, if Tiff did not move and she stayed in Palm Park right now, what's that house worth today? 700 grand? Maybe?
700.
So you're gonna have like 400 grand equity, half the equity, if that. If you're lucky, you're gonna have maybe a third to half maybe of the equity position you're in now. And it's not like you jumped from like a $2,000 payment to like a $4,000 payment. You probably jumped incrementally from like 2,000 to 25 to $4,000 over the course of 8-9 years, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't
37.
This huge jump. You just roll that equity up. And so I think back though to this planet, look, grandma and grandpa came here with nothing. They bought a house in Montebello. He was a barber. She was a cook. They paid the house off. Who knows what they bought it for, 30 grand or something. Yeah. House is paid off, right? They pass away. Auntie still lives there. Thank God they did that.
Exactly.
She's set. She's in a great place.
She has a home.
She has a home. It's her home. She grew up in that home. Thus, going back to our original thought, like wealth gives you options. Real estate gives you options. So you don't necessarily have to move up, but I find it hard pressed for, especially a young person.
If you're younger.
Yeah,
younger for sure.
All day. Consider moving up.
Younger, like up to like 65.
Yeah. Although Colonel Sanders was 70 years old when he started KFC. So.
Oh, how old was he?
70-ish.
70?
Yeah, like 60, late 60s, 70.
Come on.
KFC, Colonel Sanders.
Come on.
When we were in Kentucky, did you want to go to KFC for the first Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Oh, yeah.
He was running. So
did it taste better?
It was pretty good.
Oh.
It was better.
I feel like it'd be like fresher.
The flavor was a little like chicken. Well, I hadn't had KFC
it's from Kentucky,
for a long time.
Like it's from the chickens in
from
Kentucky.
Like the chickens
no
are probably,
pesticides.
Right.
Or no hormones.
Yeah, all that.
Oh my gosh.
So what else? Yeah.
Moving on up.
Yeah. I think also moving up, I mean, on this thread of moving up, I feel like it's important for people to have active real estate plan. Like, if an investor has a house they bought years ago, like, or a couple properties, and it's a house, single family residence, and they're renting it for $2,500 a month and market rent's $4,000. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of passive people. I guess being passive could be just buying a house and not thinking about anything else again. But honestly, like the house, especially in California, we have so much, the appreciation growth in California is astronomical.
Ridiculous.
Astronomical. It's unlike any other place in the country. We're the 5th largest economy in the world.
Yeah.
And the appreciation we've had here historically is tremendous. So I think everybody owes it to themselves to have an active plan in real estate, whether that's trading up your equity in your existing property, buying your first investment property.
Or sometimes they don't know. So tune in to Paul and Tiffany.
Yeah, there you go. Tune in, hit us up. There we go. There's a plug. But I think it's just having an active real estate plan. So
Yeah.
whether it's like moving up that equity, like your story, or it's buying your first investment property, or it's taking your current investment properties and say, how is my investment performing? Okay, I'm sitting on $1 million in equity and I'm making 20 grand a year. Well, guess what? That is a horrible return on your equity. You should consider exchanging them into something else, maybe units, maybe increasing rent. So I feel like that's the other thing I get excited about, like inspiring those people, like nudging them just a little, like, hey, you have this asset, it's sitting here. Your return isn't that great. What's going on? I think, again, back to societal kind of deal, people go to work, they kind of fall in line with kind of what they
Then
saw.
some people don't want that. They don't care about the return right now. They care about, okay, like when they retire, it'll pay for itself, and then when they're like 65, it'll be
that's one school of
paid
thought.
off.
Or if they were to strategically roll that equity up into greater returns, they would go from having $1 million to $5 million.
That's true.
When they retire.
Yeah,
so it's just
both
being
ways are
active. It's just being active. I think it's critical for every single person have an active real estate plan, whether, again, it's buying your first home, trading up, rolling that equity up, buying your first investment property. If you have an investment portfolio, looking at how that portfolio is performing and being active with what's going on and in tune. For me, it's my number one job. I mean, obviously, other than taking care of my family, it's what am I doing to maximize, optimize my financial security, my family situation, so that in the future, I'm prepared for, not only myself, but perhaps helping other people.
Yeah.
I
think that's always been like your passion.
What?
One of my old friends that I just got in contact with, I haven't talked to her in years. She asked like, how are we doing? I sent her our little YouTube short or whatever it's called.
Our About Us video.
Our About Us video, yeah. And she's like, oh my God, I could totally see Paul like being a positive speaker in front of millions of people, just like amping them up. I'm like, yeah.
I think that came from
I think that's
a combination
he
of
does that
dad,
already.
mom, and grandpa.
Yeah.
Like I go back to why I'm like that. I think grandpa was extremely motivational, inspirational. Mom was very positive. Dad, we just have been fortunate to have great parents, I think.
Yeah.
I also think screwing up in life, like high school, I was a little rowdy kid. I think honestly that experience was maybe a big blessing to me in a sense. Oh, we're going there.
Yeah, you were a rowdy kid.
A little rowdy. I mean, I should say rowdy. Rowdy is the wrong word.
You taught me You taught me my boundaries.
Oh, don't do what Paul does.
Yeah.
Okay,
don't do what Paul does.
Well, my point is,
no, just kidding.
That kind of fired me up after that. Like after high school, I was like, hey, let's get serious about life. And I went to, heavy into God, spirituality. I actually, got super, deep with myself and personal development and growth, like crazy. Yeah. So originally it was about like proving to mom and dad that
you can do it.
Yeah, I was
Mijo.
somebody. Yeah. Cool. And then it was about family, but I don't know. I think, look, at the end of the day, I think all of us, I think everybody, we all have something to share. I think
Me too. We all have our gifts.
Inside everybody, every human wants to become the best version of themselves, in my opinion. I feel like if you just think about that, like how good does it feel to just improve a tad in some category of life? Like it feels good, right? Whatever it is, like just being a better dad, being a better parent, just getting a little faster as a runner, like working out a little more, shaving off a few pounds. I mean, all these things feel good, makes sense. You can't argue that.
How can you argue 4 pounds?
I've lost 10.
This last week.
There we go.
High five to us.
Let's keep it rolling. I'm trying to get to high school weight. I got 10 more pounds to go.
I was chubby in high school. I'm like getting better as I age. Okay. 40 is the new 20.
There we go.
I'm not 40 yet.
Yeah.
One more year. But what else?
Did we hit all the topics on moving on up? I think we did. I mean, that's the gist of it, right? I think
the gist of it is, move up.
Move that equity up.
That money.
Don't be stagnant. You're either growing or you're dying, right? You got to move that equity up. In most cases, not all cases.
Most cases.
Yeah.
What else? Are you going to bust a flow?
I will tell a story. I know. I was saying before we started this, like every time a mic's in front of me, I want to bust a flow. Here we go. Let's go. But on a serious note, let me tell you a story quick before we wrap this thing up.
Okay.
On like just planting seeds and how inspiring this. So I'm at the gym, doing CrossFit, and I meet this kid. He's from Alaska, originally from like this neck of the woods, like Whittier, I think Pico area, and went up to Alaska. Was like on a tugboat, like as his job for years and years and years.
Yeah.
came back down here, was really excited about investing in real estate, like wanted to start wholesaling real estate, become like a flipper. And he paid like thousands of dollars for this online course. And he overheard me talking about real estate either on my phone or something at the gym. And he like said, hey, what do you do? And we, just long story short, he was saying, oh, I came down here. I want to start wholesaling. I'm going to quit my job and become a wholesaler.
Were you like, hold up, bro, don't do that yet.
Exactly. I said, bro, let's go get some coffee right now.
Yeah.
So we walked over to get coffee. We sat down for like 30 minutes. I figured out what he was looking to do. And I was like, dude, $2,000 you paid for this, but I guess, utilize it and learn as much as you can. I think he is, but long story short, he wanted to spend all this energy learning a new craft, which is wholesaling real estate. And I don't get into that today, but knowing what that entails and knowing his situation, I said, what's the purpose of you doing wholesaling? Well, eventually I want to own real estate. So I said, okay, so you're going to wholesale to make income, which is good, to then go buy real estate. I said, well, why don't you just buy real estate now?
Yeah.
He said, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, let's figure it out. So I figured out what he earned, and his mom lives with him. He wants to live with his mom. I'm like, okay, does she have a job? Yes. Okay. Long story short, we did the math. I'm like, look, here's what you need to do. Don't quit your job.
Yeah.
Buy your first property here.
Is he a shoreman?
Buy a little house. I don't know the job. He's a tugboat operator or something.
Oh, okay.
Tug. You buy a little house, right? Like for $5 something. He's like, you buy a house for $5 something? I'm like, yeah, a little fixer somewhere, Southeast LA County, sometimes Whittier around this area, Pico, San Francisco.
Chino.
$500, $650, under $650. Buy a little house, convert the garage to an ADU, figure it out. Oh, really? Yeah.
See?
Buy a duplex. Long story short, guess what? He's qualified with mom.
He just wasted $2,000.
He's going to buy a duplex.
Could have had some coffee with you for free.
He's going to buy a duplex, under probably 800,000 local, or a little single family residence, 650. We could convert the garage. That fills me up so much.
Obviously, because he didn't know.
Just like finding your house fills me up. And, these are the things. Our business isn't easy. It's very challenging. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of emotional, physical, mental energy to succeed at a long time in this business. And these little things that occur, not all the time, but once in a blue moon, you have these clients that you help and it feels good, right? You probably feel that every time.
I feel that every single time because my clients are all cool.
Yeah. Well, you're on the buyer side more. I think there's a more excitement there. I on the more seller side usually, and fun. The emotion's not necessarily that high dealing with the seller side or a commercial tenant, but it does, or a commercial sale. It does feel good though. Once you kind of close the deal and the chapter's done and you help somebody facilitate whatever it is, that transaction.
Helping someone get to a place.
But some are like this one to me, he was literally going to quit his job and I already knew it was going to take him. I said, it's going to take you 3 years. Okay, you're going to make money. It's going to take you 2 years to figure it out. And 5 years before you buy your first property.
Yeah, or he's going to get one.
2 years.
Oh, no.
3 to 5 years. We literally, by one conversation. So that's why I believe in God. I mean, things like that just don't happen. Like, there's too many things.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole other episode, right?
Without
but I mean,
God,
that was.
Who are we?
Right?
Just kidding.
Anyways, are we rambling now or
why
what?
are you holding your cup like that?
I lost myself hold the cup.
Like, I'll hold it like this.
All right. Well.
Anyways, all right. Well, what else?
I don't know. I think that's a wrap.
I feel like I want to do that. I hit
You're always good with that stuff. The rhythm. I never had the rhythm quite like.
Well, I taught you how to dance.
You did.
The Running Man.
You did.
You taught me the Corrupt song in 4th grade.
I did.
We're even.
Okay.
All right. It's a wrap?
I think so.
This up?
Yeah. How about we end in a funny story?
All right.
I used to dress like me and follow me around on my mini bike with your.
That was a funny story. But was it funny? Paul had like a lime green outfit and a like bright yellow outfit with stripes. I totally remember matching.
Yeah.
So I wore one.
Why did mom even buy me that? Beyond, like, what was her? Why did she buy me 2 bright neon outfits?
That was the vibe.
Okay, got it.
Because probably
80s.
Campland. Yeah,
the 80s. There we go.
So Paul used to comb his hair like a wave, and I had bangs. So then I did it. And I always wanted to hang out with my brother and his friends because they were so cool. And like he had cute little boys, like cute friends. So I'm like, little sister. So I always wanted to play with you. And he had a mini bike. I had a regular bike. And then Paul didn't know I was following him, but He never wanted me to tag along.
He's always tagging along. I'm on a mini bike, a 5 horsepower, bringing straight a mini bike with like 30 miles per hour, and Tiff's behind me with her mountain bike trying to catch us and hang out with us all the time. But anyways.
Yeah. And then here we are doing a podcast.
My little tag along. My better half, though.
Can't get rid of me.
Yin and yang.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah, that was good times.
I think we should wrap up saying, hey guys, I hope you found something valuable.
Yeah.
Share it with some friends. Help us get the word out on our new amazing podcast.
Subscribe, points, or what is it?
Who cares?
Thumbs up.
Whatever. Go to our website, paultiffany.com. But on a serious note, if you or anybody you know is looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the Whittier area, we also serve greater Los Angeles. Hit us up, people.
Paul and Tiffany.
Also, we invest and develop. So if you come across a deal or know of a deal we should look at, shoot it our way, people. I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
High five.
High five.
Until next time. Peace.
Peace.